welcome to Creative Bee Studios. I'm Carla. I'm the designer of more than 50 quilt patterns that use both beautiful sides of fabric. Today we're going to look at a quilt that uses both spooky sides of fabric. Something's Brewing is this boiling cauldron made with one focus fabric that's a spider web. And the reverse of that fabric makes up the boiling steam coming out of the top of the cauldron. For Something's Brewing, we use the right side for the cauldron, the honey-buzzard claw feet, and the binding. The reverse of this, and the broomstick. Reverse of this same fabric makes the bubbling steam. I especially love the honey-buzzard claw feet since, creative bee and honey, and I don't know if you can see them, but I have little spider web earrings with spiders on them. And there's lots of fun focus fabrics people have done in classes. Just anything that you want to mimic coming out of the steam, as long as your value is right, you can use it. We'll talk more about values when we look at the backgrounds. Other quilts that you see in the background include a sugar skull flora. It's a broderie purse design, so you will use a floral fabric, and her skull is made from the reverse. While the floral, the thing. But anyway, it's made with the right side, and you cut each flower and leaf or groupings of them out to design it to go across the forehead. And it is on a very simple background. Then these two are called jack-o'-lantern. The first one I made was the mini. So as you can see, this happy ghoul pops out of her pumpkin and lid, and it's on a fun Halloween-scrappy background. The mini jack-o'-lanterns spider friends are actually buttons, but in the larger version, you do get the spiderweb templates along with the rest of your full-size paper templates. I'll put the links to all of the patterns and my website and everything in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Back to Something's Brewing. So if you notice, the bottom half of the background fabrics are mostly light, and the upper half are a medium to getting close to dark. And this pattern also comes with a full-size paper template, so you don't have to blow anything up or reverse anything. It's ready to just trace onto your Fusible web. Makes it a really fast, fun Halloween quilt. Okay, so let's look at the backgrounds on this quilt. Starting at the bottom, these two pieces, second one you can't see very much, but they're identical pieces. I have a little tidbit for you about these. Anyway, this one is a batik with just kind of beige mottled colors on it. And this one is a beige with dark gray or black word print, almost like a newsprint. However, it's reversed. And I did that because it was taking too much attention away from the cauldron if I kept it on the right side showing. So these two pieces are 22 inches in width. And because this is an easy background to put together, nothing has to match up, and you do trim it down after you fuse your design onto it. You can use a fat quarter. Even if it's slight, just make sure you put the selvage at the outer edge and it'll get trimmed off. So that's perfectly fine. Next, this one goes all the way up here. It is just an accent strip, orange with black writing. This piece here is a beige with darker beige writing on it. This one looks like a very decorative black and orange piece, but it actually has little skulls in that design. And this is a large, like an oversized spider web that you just see a little sliver of. That is the whole bottom half of the quilt. So when you have that done, you're halfway done with your background. Then the upper half, let's take a look at it. Starting over here, this is a grunge. It's the taupey gray. I don't recall the name, but it has a little bit of a light gray and dark grays in it. But the actual main part of it has a little bit of a brown, a warmer gray to it. So this fun piece of fabric is actually the print from Shakespeare's poem in Macbeth. Double, double, toil and trouble here. These two pieces actually get sewn together. You cut them apart horizontally and insert an accent strip, and this one's obviously a plaid in black and orange with glitzy threads in it, like silver. This piece over here is Stonehenge that is reversed. And this piece here is just an accent of a mottled teal. I will tell you that when you are looking at your values, as long as a piece of fabric has the right value, you can use it. So if there's something you want to use, like my favorite color, even though it doesn't necessarily automatically look like it should go, you can use it as long as it's the right value. So the Fusible applique includes the large cauldron, the broomstick, which you'll insert down behind the cauldron, the honey-buzzard claw feet, and lots of little bubbles and steam. Now you can cut these bubbles using an Quilt Go, or if you have a cutting machine like a scan and cut or a Cricut type of machine, you can cut the bubbles that way. And of course the binding is the same as your focus fabric. So it's such a fun quilt. It's so much fun to make seasonal quilts that are doable, and you could start it a week before you want it done. And even with quilting, it doesn't take a lot of time. So let's talk about the quilting a little bit. When I quilt these kinds of quilts, I like to these, whether it's broderie purse like Flora or a template Fusible applique, I like to do the securing of the applique at the same time I'm doing the quilting, because these are supposed to be fun, fast quilts. So I like to finish them that way also. Be sure to look at the prairie point hanging method to see how you can finish your quilts and have them ready to hang with the last stitch of your binding. It might be hard to see here, but I do like to use a freehand horizontal lines on any large pieces. I think it secures it well, but also it gives it a contrast to a curvy background of quilting. I hope you've enjoyed Something's Brewing today, and I hope you have something brewing in your sewing room. Thank you for joining me today. Please come back soon. Bye. Hang on. Whatchamacallit? Floral headpiece? That's not it either. I can't remember what I call it.